Jason in Texas. Pronouns are he, him. You are on Secular Sexuality. What's going on?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
What's your topic?
I'm sorry, there's a delay. So my question is, about a year ago, I started watching some porn that I wasn't used to watching, and through a little bit of therapy and counseling, I realized, I'm bi. So I work in an industry out here in Texas that's not really conducive to that type of lifestyle, I guess. And you got a lot of guys who are real open about being Trump supporters and anti-gay. It's I work in oil and gas. And, I've recently said some things about people saying some stuff, and I want to be careful because I don't want to lose my job. But also at the same time, I don't want to sit there and think people, let them think it's okay to espouse a hate speech to me. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of torn on where to take a stand, and also I'm also trying to. Sorry, I'm getting a call coming in, but I'm also trying to figure out how open I should be just in my general group of people, and really how important it is, because I'm not transitioning. I'm not going through a real, a full physical change with hormones, and this is, I don't know how important it is that I'm hey guys, I'm kind of into dudes too now, or kind of always have been. So I just want to get y'all's opinion on that.
Oh, Jason, you called in on the right night. I too work in a industry that is not exactly friendly to folks on the spectrum most times. I'm a tradesperson. I work in construction, and I struggled with that for a long time, whether I wanted to be open about it or whether I could, because you can hear I don't come off as someone who might be on the spectrum. I pretty much sound straight, quote unquote. But it got to the point where I wanted to be visible, because there are more people like you and me that work in trades, that work in oil and gas, that do jobs that haven't historically been associated with LGBTQ plus people. And I got to the point where I was just like, I need to be a voice for this, because I can handle the flack that I get. I wear a hot pink hard hat to work. I have a pride flag on it. I get more friendly nods and, chuckles than I do dirty looks or comments. And I'm okay with that. I can handle the comments. I can handle the bad shit. The question is, can you? And if you can't, if it's not healthy for you, if you don't feel ready to tackle that, then don't. There's no rule that says that you have to.
Yeah, I think
I like the point of.
Or go ahead.
No, please. I'd love to hear what you have to say, please.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, generally speaking, when we talk about coming out, I think a rule of thumb is always that if your safety is ever at risk, don't. You don't have to be, you don't have to tell anyone about what's going on with you ever. It's nice to have a life where you can be honest and authentic, but if your safety is at risk, or your job or anything, don't. There's also an issue of if they fire you over you coming out as being gay, I think you might have a legal case on your hands. But I think just think of how many people who are maybe they aren't LGBT, but they're so sick of those dudes making those fucking jokes and making those comments who work with you. Or maybe, like Nate said, other people who are LGBT who if you do have the stuff in you to do that, I think you could be definitely a beacon of light for a lot of those people to be wow, okay, I am not totally isolated here. That is I think sometimes just knowing there's one other person in the room like that can go so fucking far to keep you from being in a really dark place.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a really great perspective, and luckily I'm kind of a big motherfucker with cauliflower ears and tattoos, so and I found myself like what you said, like standing up. Some dude said some real dumb shit the other day. I'm boss man on jobs. He said some dumb shit about hate crimes, and one of my best friends is trans, and she recently got shot at, and there's video of it.
God.
And so I just started freaking out on him, and I told him, I go, for all you know, I like to slap myself in the face with black cock. You know, you need to watch who you're fucking talking to. And you know, made a comment, and then I've been finding myself slipping a little more and more around friends, and it's just kind of like bleh, things are coming out, and I can't stop it. So it's again like, oh please step in, please.
I think it's fair to say you can pick your battles. I think it's fair to say that you can evaluate a situation and see if it's necessary to make a difference, to really step out and put your foot down when people start talking trash. Because I think that's just I think that's only human. I think that I've had occasion to do that, where being in a conversation and somebody starts talking trash about trans people, and a very recent occasion, somebody started doing that in a restaurant, and we were in a group, and it's going on and on and on about this stuff, and I just turned to him and said, "Have you ever met a trans person?" And the guy goes, "No." I said, "Well, you have now." You could. I mean, but you can pick those battles. You don't feel obligated to do it. I felt comfortable in that circumstance to be able to do that. But that's my 2 cents.
And Jason, I've done the same thing
like
too.
that.
When people are saying awful shit, and I'm like, "How many gay people do you actually know?" And they're like, "None." And I'm like, "Really? Really? You don't know any? I think you do know one."
Well, yeah.
And then they're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
Yeah. These guys, they mistake me for something that I'm not.
Exactly.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because I get into these conversations with these guys. So I'm an inspector, so I go place to place, and they're always asking me these questions. And I get in these long conversations. And one dude just recently told me, "Well, my daughter, she just came out as bi, and she's 15, and she's dating a trans guy." And I go, "That's fucking awesome." And he's all, I go, "Yeah, man, what a fucking acid trip. Now you got something new. Good job, you're a good dad, and your daughter came out to you." And he's all, oh, okay. And, because it's weird. It's just like it's leaking out. And I'm like, oh, God, maybe I just need to shut the fuck up. But I keep finding I'm just vomiting this shit out. So I don't know.
This is what I'm saying, right? Like, it's so important for people like us to be visible because we shatter these preconceptions about what people on the spectrum are. And so that's why it was important for me to do it. And I think you kind of know what you need to do, man.
Sounds like it.
Well,
It sounds like you kind of do.
I do appreciate
but
Well, thank you. I do appreciate y'all talking, and luckily I get to speak to Stephanie on the Discord, so it's a blessing to see her on here. So I really appreciate y'all doing. Yeah,
Oh.
Right? Isn't she awesome? It's so cool to be on a show with her finally. Arden's cool too, I guess.
And Arden. It's a cool website, and I really appreciate everything everybody does, and y'all fucking rule. So thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you too, Jason. Have a nice night.